Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining of Two Mindsets. We are back again, and we are so happy that you're able to join us. I am Dee Hill, and today I have my crew with me. Um, on the left, depending on how you look at it, is my brother from another mother, Izzy. Izzy, how's it going today?
Peace. I'm doing good, man. Everything is wonderful. Even if I was in hell, I'd still be smiling. So,
Wow, that's a
Mm,
positive attitude right there.
mm.
yeah,
I hope that doesn't happen.
I'm
I hope
in
you don't have to
actual
put that
hell
to the
right now.
test. To say
Mm.
again, what
I'm
did you
in
just?
actual hell right now, and I'm
Oh
still
no!
smiling.
All right.
I
Okay.
love it.
Well, we're
I
gonna
love
figure
it.
out. We're gonna figure out getting you out of there for sure.
Okay.
And on the other side, I have the good brother who's always somewhat positive, Mr. RJ.
Yeah,
RJ, how's it
somewhat.
going today?
Yes, that's
Somewhere.
good. I'm good. I'm good. Somewhat positive. I'm
Great.
mostly positive. Yeah,
Have you
I'm
been
good.
watching the Olympics?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
It. I admittedly is hard to watch. I mean, like as far as the scheduling, but I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
exactly.
what I'm watching.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to catch the women's 200 meter today, and that was an
Yeah.
exciting race, man. I
Yes.
won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, but it was really, really a great race.
Then I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you too what's been kind of getting me about it. Back in the day we had analog TV, so that's all you had was the
right.
station. Now it's just like we got internet, and it's like I don't have rabbit ears and all that, so I can't watch. I don't have the service to watch it. I just have YouTube, Netflix, and all that like everybody else. So
Yeah, if
that's
if you like
cool.
if you're like a lot of us and you're not paying for cable because you know the cable's sort of a ripoff, you have to wait because it's like NBC has a chokehold on the Olympics, so
Yeah, they
Right.
do.
catch it
They do.
elsewhere. Yeah.
I've tried to watch it live on YouTube on NBC, and they just show you like other
Gymnastics.
stuff like from a year ago, 4 years ago, and it's just like
Yeah.
they make you go to get rabbit ears or buy cable service. I'm not doing that just for the Olympics. So
Hey, I
Right.
don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. So we want to give a little bit of attention to those who have been watching us, and we're gonna respond to two of our comments from the last show. We talked about hip hop and hip hop beefs and some other things as well. Bobby Genius Music says, like MC8 once said, diss tracks aren't songs, they are threats. And Izzy, that's similar to something you were saying. How do you feel about that comment?
um, it honestly depends on the two people that's in the beef. If they're two normally if they're two hip hop heads, it's just gonna be lyrics and that's gonna be that. But I mean, if you talking about gangsters turned rappers, I mean that may be a little different. But even most times, then it's normally just a straight up lyrical battle. So it just depends on the two people that's involved in it. So I mean, if you think about the money they make, they should have enough sense to just let it be lyrics and nothing else. But it just depends on two people.
You agree with that, RJ?
For the most part, yeah. Especially when it's like well, I'm thinking about, rappers that kind of are not real personal with each other. I think it can get dangerous when you have people that actually know each other. You know what I'm saying? Like NWA. I think that one could have gotten dangerous with Cube and them just because they're real familiar. But I think for the most part, it's just lyrics.
That's an interesting take on it. So being close to somebody and then being distant from them or having a breakup,
Right.
so to say,
Just
that might be
think about
more
Biggie and
dangerous.
Pac. They were close to one another. You know what I mean? So I
Good
think
point.
that has something to do with it. They were buddies. Then they became enemies. I think that adds something to it.
Interesting
Whereas
take.
otherwise, LL and this and whoever, we I don't want to rehash our conversation from last time, but those are just lyrics, him talking about Ice Cube's girl and Kumo D and all that kind of stuff. Those were just, lyrics. But
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
I agree.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other note from last show, I don't try not to mess up this name too bad, but I think it's Yari Lee Curie 225
That
said,
sound like you messed it up.
probably so. How can we have a black nation within white America and move on one accord when we can't even agree on who's black or black enough?
That
All right.
sounds like something I would say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Oh yeah, I agree. You can move on. You can pass it on to Izzy. I'm good with that 100%.
Izzy,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a little bit to say about that comment.
How can we move on? See, what we as a people have to do, and I'm talking about FBA, Foundational Black America, and then I'm talking about the diaspora as a whole, melaninated, richly melaninated people. I know they say we African Americans. We'll talk about that another time. I don't believe we Africans, but the diaspora of the richly melanated people, the way we get past that is you have to put black power first. The goal needs to be the same between all of us, which is black power. How we get there, we can vary on how we feel about that, but as long as we keep that one goal in mind, that's how we work out our differences and understand that we all going towards the same goal. And then we can add everything else in there together with the unity and the economics and everything else. But that is why we constantly lose, because see, no matter the different lifestyle white supremacy come from, the people that uphold white supremacy come from, whether it's people who have defected from the black nation and what we call coons and shields and everything else, or anything that come from white power, they have a goal, and it's keeping our ass down. And as long as they doing that, they can argue, fuss, fight all they want, but they know the ending product is gonna be them winning, and that's how we get around that. We find the goal, which is black power, black empowerment, which is really what black power means: black empowerment, black excellence. We go from there, and then we move towards it, and it's just that simple.
I can't agree with that. One accord and move forward. So I like that answer, bro. Very much so. So we'll go ahead and get into today's topic. It's a topic that I think we all can contribute to quite a bit. I know that I will, because let's ask this question. I consider myself overweight. Do each of you consider yourselves overweight?
I
RJ.
definitely do.
I'll let I'm probably the lightest weighted person, so I'll let Izzy go next.
Well, how much do you weigh?
What?
How much do you weigh?
Like two something.
Nah, bro, we gotta be specific. We have to be specific.
We'll come back to your
263.
weight. Hold on to that, because I don't believe that's the truth. But
What?
let me let me start off, and I'll just tell you a
Yeah.
little bit
Let the
about.
heaviest guy start off.
I think that I
Heavy
am.
D.
For those who don't know, I stand at just 6 feet, and this week I got on the scale and I weighed 269 pounds. Now, the most that I've ever weighed is like 275. So I'm not the heaviest I've ever been, but still incredibly large much larger than I should be, for sure. And let me tell you about when I first realized I was overweight. Is when people taller than me started calling me big man. They'd be like, "What's up? What's up, big man?"
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
when that starts happening, and you've always been a skinny person. I grew up a skinny guy, and when I first went to
Is that
college,
true? Is it?
I wouldn't say skinny, but I say slimmer. Yes,
yeah,
definitely
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
a
okay,
lot
all right,
slimmer.
okay.
When I first went to college, well, I started lifting weights in high school. I lifted weights a lot in college when I first went. Gained a lot of weight. I went from like 145 to 185 when I was 19, 20, 21. And it wasn't until I got to like 38 years old that I started getting a belly and people started making comments about it. And that's when it really started happening in my late 30s. And I lost weight once and then picked it back up. And so when people started saying big man, that was one indication. The
Mm,
ultimate indicator, and I think I've shared this with at least RJ, if not Izzy also. 2013, I think I was playing basketball at LA Fitness and I was on defense and I was running with this younger guy, guarding him. He stopped and went one way and I tried to go the other way with him, but I couldn't stop and I just fell and my knees just gave out. And that
mm,
was that was the waking point for me. That's when oh, I'm not the agile titan that I used to be. And
mm.
that was a waking point too when I couldn't keep up in basketball anymore. And that happened like in I can specifically point out 2013, and that's when I had to hang up the sneakers for the most
Mm.
part. So, RJ, did you have any moments, not necessarily identical to that, but when did you realize something's got to change, or at least I'm not the little guy I used to be, or slimmer guy that I used to
Well, similar to you, it wasn't until my late 30s that I started getting plump. Um, for the most part, during high school, in especially in well elementary school, I was thin. High school, I was medium built. Wasn't chunky, just medium
Medium.
built. What'd you say, Izzy?
I said that nigga was medium.
Medium. That's a good word. Size 34, 36. No bigger than the 36.
I
Maybe
wish I could get back
34.
to 36.
Oh man,
Well,
tell me
yeah,
about
yeah. 38 would be nice. That would be nice. But yeah, and really COVID kind of did the whammy on me too, not
Mm-hmm.
leaving the house. That's where I was at my zenith, up to 270s plus.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah,
it.
exactly. Um, but I'm kind of moderating myself now. I'm at a plateau. I'm not gaining, but I'm not losing right now at the same time. So I'm where I feel comfortable with the way I'm walking around. And so my knees really don't hurt, but I know I can't run nowhere. Can't play no basketball for certain. So I'm sure I
Why?
I probably I still could beat you in the game one on one, but I
What
probably
what would what would happen if you ran or tried to play basketball?
I don't know. I don't think it'd be too bad. I was running the other day. Actually, me and my son went for a walk, and he started. He was basically just
Yeah.
running. I'm double timing trying to keep up with him. So eventually, I just start running just to catch him. So I think I'd be okay. I mean, I wouldn't. You know, I'm sure I'd be out of breath and real winded, but I don't know. If I'm playing with some old cats, I think I can handle it. But young guys, nah, you forget it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Izzy, on the real, do you consider yourself overweight?
Oh, definitely.
And
Yeah, definitely.
when did that realization hit you? Was there a certain event?
Well, I was so active coming up that it took me a while to really just get where I felt like it was out of control. Like, high school, I did the same thing. Sports, went to the hood, played basketball every week. Used to walk to the spot to play basketball, yeah, and may walk back to and fro the house 2 times a day. Lifted weights in school. Played basketball in school, not for the school, but like gym class. Played football in my early years. Got out of school, still played a little bit, but it's like the older we got, and people started moving away. We played basketball less, and then as I got into more of the young adult life, started gaining weight, partying and eating good, drinking good. And I say probably when I was maybe like 25, 26, I started, I'm like, oh, I'm 230. But see, in high school, I was 189, but I was cut. I was 189. I'm 5'11", and I was 189, mostly muscle, and just started getting fatter over the years. I mean, it's natural because, you get out of high school, you in the gym, you lifting weights, you doing all kind of sports, but yeah, I mean it just started ballooning over time. Like I never got to y'all weight. Now 270, I was no, I'm just being
uh,
serious. That is a lot for me, and y'all are not much taller than me. I don't know how tall RJ is, but
yeah, I'm about 6'5", 6'5", 6'4".
that's a damn lie. But
6'5", 6'4".
but I think the most I've weighed was 260. But
What? That's 10 pounds.
but it's a hell of a lot of. But see, but see, the difference is now.
The difference is you 5'7" and 260.
But see, I've always been a stocky guy too, though. So I got a lot of muscle with mine.
Oh.
Because no matter how big I got, people. But I'm gonna tell you what really made me know I was fat though, because you know how black people is when they
Yeah, I
ain't seen me
do.
in a long time. Boy, you done got fat, man. Like just
oh
every
my goodness.
time somebody see you, or you go see family, like a family reunion or a Christmas, Thanksgiving. Oh, you done got thick, ain't you, boy? Like you know how black folks is. They ain't got no sense of just letting
That's
you
the
just
first thing
live.
they
They got
say.
to let you. Yeah, they got to let you just know you done got fat. So but even now though, I consistently walk, and when I do walk, I normally do about 4 or 5 miles. I usually do that about 2 or 3 times a week, and now I'm lifting weights twice a week too. But my heaviest was 260. Right now I'm at 245, and my goal is to be around 220. So I got a ways to go, but I know I'm gonna get there. So.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Mhm.
So, and Izzy, I'll stick with you for now. Outside of the people that are actually in your household that you live with or live with you, would you say that your family has good eating habits?
Decent, not good. No, I wouldn't say that. I've got pretty decent eating habits, but it's more. I think with me, it's more or less beer because I like beer. I drink beer, but I love vegetables. I love fruit. I love vegetables. So I don't eat pork. I try not to eat a lot of beef, and the weight is still there, but I've noticed though, I've been going in hard with the exercise and I still haven't lost a lot of weight, but people have been telling me I've lost weight. So I've been gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. So, and I can look in the mirror and I can tell a difference. But my weight is actually the same.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's
So
what's happening
I
to me
think,
too.
I think that's a mix of the lifting weights and the walking. And
Yep.
I enjoy walking. So that's what I incorporated. I think most people just have to find what they like doing.
Yeah.
And I love working in the yard too. So sometimes I go to my mother's house, work in the yard, and that's good to do to lose weight as well.
For
So
sure. It's a great exercise. And I ask about like the family. habits, not so much to say this family member does that and that family member does that. But so, for instance, in my family, on my mother's side, there's certain people who are focused on eating less and trying to eat healthy. But a lot of us, we eat whatever's there and whatever's available. Some people eat chitlins and pig feet and stuff like that, and I don't eat those things, but I eat bacon and oxtails. And it's funny, my brother-in-law told me that oxtails are just as much throwaway parts as pig feet and chitlins. So,
Oh yeah,
you
No,
do you
not
you
yeah.
agree with that, RJ?
I do. I mean, you talking about oxtails like similar to pig's feet as far as the
That's
content? Yeah, definitely. Because you got to eat so many oxtails just to get the meat. It's like I don't see the benefit. I personally, I don't. That's not my preference. Is oxtails. But
so
for me,
you
but go
go
ahead.
ahead. I
No, I
was
was gonna
about to
say,
say you're from the north.
right.
What what's the differences as far as how your family ate as you were growing up, and as a person in the South now? Do you see a major
Um,
difference in the diets?
well, up north we don't really sweet tea is not a thing. Okay, so so the sweet tea with all that sugar in it, that's a big adjustment. I love sweet tea though. I mean, I love it. Biscuits, biscuits form a big thing up north. So, and it's another thing I love. I love the biscuits.
You touch on sweet tea, man. People don't realize. You see, memes of people putting all that sugar in
Yeah,
Kool-Aid. They put
yeah,
just as much sugar in sweet tea, and
sure
yeah,
do, sure do.
yeah,
sweet tea has probably killed more people than guns have down in the
yeah.
South.
I
And
love
then
it
I
though.
wonder
I
why
mean,
we
I
got
love it.
all these diabetics in the black community because you drinking all these sugary drinks, Kool-Aid, sweet tea. Like, I don't like my drinks real sweet.
I do.
So even if if I hadn't had Kool-Aid in so long, years and years, but even when I used to make that kind of stuff, I didn't put as much sugar in it as everybody else did. Like lemonade is another one. People
Yeah,
put a lot of sugar in that.
yeah.
I just need the hint of sugar. I don't need, the full force, man. People be putting cups and cups of sugar
Sugar
in
is
this
my
stuff.
weakness. Sugar, cookies, cakes, not so much candies, but cookies and cakes, sugar. Like D Hill, excuse me. My we had coffee when we came to see you last time, and the coffee
Mhm.
just how I like it. But D Hill didn't care for it too much.
We stopped at Dunkin' Donuts, Izzy, and I guess they know. I don't know if that was the RJ special
It
that
is
they
it's
gave
the
us,
RJ special. Yeah, they know
but
me. I don't have
this was
that.
the
This is
sweetest
cream and
coffee
sugar.
I'd ever had in my life. I didn't even ask for them. I just said cream and sugar. It's like they put all the sugar in there. It was more sugar in the coffee than there was coffee. And
Yeah, man, you gotta just tell them to give you that separate and put it in yourself. I don't like real sweet coffee either, at all. Some people be putting like the French vanilla pods and all that, or hazelnut. Be
Yeah,
putting
that
4, 5, and 6 in there. I only need
love it.
two.
I
I
love it.
just need two. That's it. That's it, and I'm good to go. But sugar is one thing. If you cut out, most people will lose a lot of weight because a lot of the foods we eat now have a lot of sugar in them. So you wonder why you're addicted to them. It's sugar. Then you got monosodium, MSG, monosodium glutamate. Those are the things that's very addictive. And they say sugar is as addictive as cocaine and any other drug. And I absolutely understand and believe that. So
Yeah.
like the bread that we call bread now in modern days is not actual bread. It's more like a cake. It's like a light cake actually because of the
Hmm.
amount of sugar that's in it. And now they're replacing actual sugar with high fructose corn syrup now. So who knows how that's affecting our bodies. And then we wonder why, we got a lot of kids with ADHD and all these other things that's going on, because it's a lot of it because of the diet, the prescriptions and all that. Not trying to get too deep into that, but sugar and things like it is very detrimental to our health these times and days. So the snack cakes, and I'm a snack cake person. I grew up with them, honey buns and zebra cakes. I mean, I love me a honey bun and zebra cake.
Oh yeah,
I
honey
mean,
bun.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tap through some Oreos too. Like, give me a
Oh,
cup of milk and some and
a
one thing
whole
I
row
don't
of
drink milk
Oreos.
anymore, but get me some almond milk and some Oreos, man. I tap through a whole pack. But
Yeah.
I try not to even buy sweet things anymore. And that's one thing I can say positively that I have done is cut out the snacks like I used to. I used to buy a honey bun or a snack cake every day, but now I don't. I may eat a honey bun or a zebra cake maybe once a month now.
Mm,
So
Gotcha.
I've definitely cut that down.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So,
want to have no diabetic anything.
and that's
So
I was going to talk about diabetes next. I've been very fortunate. You know, I've had this weight on me for a few years now. Been very fortunate enough not to be diagnosed with diabetes, but we had a class reunion, my high school class reunion last year. And this was right before the actual reunion. We had a meeting where we all get to know each other again and whatnot. And we were sitting in the foyer of this restaurant, waiting to be seated. And people were talking and everything. And then someone said, "Yeah, I'm on this medicine for my diabetes." And then the next person said, "Yeah, my doctor had me on that too." And then another person said, "Yeah, my diabetes, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Whoa, this is scary because is this where I'm headed if I don't do something now?" And that was the first. I started realizing I've gotten older now. I need to take this weight seriously. And,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
very fortunate that, I don't have diabetes, but it runs rampant in our community. It runs rampant, period. But, for us in particular, um, it's one of those things where we have to, as we get into our 40s, and early 50s, you got to take that seriously and get lower on the sugar. Let's talk about those drugs that you were just mentioning, Izzy. Everybody's familiar with Ozempic. That's a very big name brand now. There's also Wegovy and Manjaro, and I never heard of Zepbound, I think it's pronounced.
Mm,
And these started off as diabetes drugs, but in 2021, the FDA approved them for weight loss. So I was thinking that this was something that doctors were doing that they weren't supposed to. But I know people who are on Ozempic, and I was like, you don't need Ozempic, but it seems to be quite the trend now. Are you guys seeing that in your circles?
yeah. And I know you did some research on it. I'm just curious, like Ozempic itself. So what does it actually do? I know it curbs your appetite, but what else is it's got to be doing something else to your body though, right?
So my
What is it doing?
understanding, Izzy, go ahead.
oh no, I was just saying it got to be doing something else. Like internally affecting something other than just your appetite. I
Right,
mean,
because you can go
Well,
without eating a whole day and still not lose weight. So it's got to be doing something else, right? What is it?
my understanding is that it triggers the body to release, I think, an enzyme that usually tells the body that you've eaten. So
Okay.
it says to the body, you've done what you need to eat today or to get nutrition. There's no need to eat at this moment. So it is an appetite suppressant.
But
That's what
it's
these
keeping
drugs do.
your body like digesting. What is it? Is that what it's doing? Or what?
I don't think it touches your
it's keeping
digestion or anything.
it's
It's
keeping
more
you
so,
satiated. Pretty much, it's keeping you satiated.
yeah.
Mm,
It's
So
I think
that
it's
you won't
a
be hungry.
right.
mm.
And I don't know if y'all heard the interview with Cat Williams when he was saying Ozempic is running through Hollywood and is tearing people up. It's gonna be just like any other drug, and who knows what kind of chemical imbalances these people gonna have after all drugs cause chemical imbalances, bro. So it's like who knows what's gonna be the ending of this what they call it crisis, this Ozempic crisis right now. And once you're off of it, I'm sure you'll balloon back up, just like any other quick fix. The only real way to lose weight and keep it off, man, is to live a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, exercise, and really that's about it. Everything else is a quick fix. I don't care what it is.
I
Even
think
getting your stomach stapled. If you don't do the work to keep that weight off, it's gonna come back. And you'll just be done had somebody cutting on you and open you up for nothing. And that's just like a damn BBL. You can get the ass, but if you don't do what they tell you to do to keep it up,
Well,
you know what I
how
mean?
do you keep up with BBL? Does it be like massage
Squat,
involved or what?
squat. I'm sure
Squat.
squat,
Okay.
squat,
I thought,
exercise. Yeah.
so.
So
I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say to your point about people using the drugs as opposed to doing those other things. A lot of them have tried to do those other things, but simply don't have the discipline. And it's very, we obviously know, the three of us, that it's hard to keep the weight off just doing it on our own. So what will you say to those people who have tried it? It didn't work. They would lose weight, gain it back. So why not try the drug?
I mean, the difference is you just got to keep trying, man. That's what life is about. Nothing is easy in this life, man. Nothing. So you just got to keep doing it like you do anything else. Just keep hitting that. Yeah, throughout the years, I have gained weight, but I have also made sure I do things to stay active, to keep my joints mobile, to keep the flexibility in my body, the malleability in my body, to keep my wind, my endurance. And no, I'm not where I want to be, but I continuously try. Some people just don't have willpower, and that I'm not gonna diss anybody. I'm just saying the real way to do it is through discipline. I mean, that's with anything in life, discipline. But if you need an extra boost, that's one thing. That's fine. Get those Ozempic, get your stomach stapled. I see nothing wrong with that. And I'm not gonna judge anybody for doing that. I think that's perfectly fine. Just make sure you're doing the work to keep it going. That's all I'm saying. Don't think you're just gonna do that and then everything gonna be fine. Because if you do all of that and still eat nonsense every day, what are you doing it for? And that's what happens to a lot of people. When they have these procedures and these quick fixes, they don't change their lifestyle,
there
and
you
then
go.
they're back in the same situation.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's a lifestyle change. So if you're not embracing that along with the Ozempic, along with the the tummy tuck, then you're really just wasting your money. Or that's really
Right,
what you're doing.
right. You can tuck your tummy all you want, but yeah, you just have to change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so,
RJ,
Yes.
we've all three of us have admitted to being overweight. Is being fat a bad thing? And other than the obvious health implications, why?
Is it a bad thing?
Yeah.
Bad, like, what do you mean bad thing?
You can
Like,
answer that however you want to.
ooh, it's an uncomfortable thing, is what it is. It's uncomfortable when you're getting on the airplane and you're like, you know what I'm saying? It's uncomfortable when you're getting in a small car and you're squeezing in. So it's an uncomfortable thing. I won't necessarily say it's a bad thing because some people like lack the willpower. I mean, obviously I lack some, so it's
you trying to be nice. I'm gonna go on a limb and say yes, because God, the Most High, didn't intend for us to be the way we are. We over time we have gotten to this point.
yeah.
So yeah, we're not intended, and no animal, no living being is intended to be fat. I mean,
What about hippopotamus? elephants.
You trying to get ahead of me now? Because I was just gonna make a
But
disclaimer. I just
Okay.
gonna make a disclaimer.
Okay.
And no, in cases like that, that animal is intended to be like that. An elephant is intended to be big. A
it's for
whale is
survival.
intended to be big.
Exactly.
But humans are not. We are not intended. We are this nation and most European nations, I say, are overweight, and I think America is like either number one or number two. So yeah, or well, if not number one, number two, it's up down in the top 10, I'm sure. Most Europeanized nations, and we just eat a fatty diet, a fatty, sugary diet. But now that we're speaking on this, though, let me say this too: hydration. Majority of people are dehydrated, and that's why
Yeah.
all these heart
Where's my
attacks.
water at? Yeah.
That's what, huh?
No, go ahead, man. I'm just getting a
That,
sip of water.
that's where all these heart attacks and strokes come from too. People are not hydrated. The common person is chronically dehydrated, because I'm sure we all know some people that don't even drink water. I don't like the way water tastes. I hate when I hear people say that, especially black people. It just sounds so ignorant to me. I don't like the way water tastes. Like, bitch, your water, your body is like 70-some% water. Like, how you gonna take? That's crazy to me. Like, I love water, and I believe that's one thing that keeps me going and healthy for the weight that I am is water. And people are still to this day don't believe I'm the age I am. No matter how out of shape I have been or believe that I am, I always get younger and it's because I drink water and I stay active, no matter how heavy set I have been. So drink plenty of water, leave the sodas alone. They full of sugar, they full of preservatives, they're full of artificial dyes and flavorings. Even some of these juices, they stack and pack with too much sugar. And if you could just do that, that'll make you healthier. And the pork. And Deidre, you know our family is from the country.
What's wrong with the pork?
All the seasoned meat, I mean,
Oh.
because traditionally, a lot of the seasoned meats and the pork that our people have eaten is packed in salt to preserve it, and that alone gonna run your blood pressure up. And Deidre, you know that to be a fact, coming from our family, coming from where they come from, that that high blood pressure, eating all this pig feet, hog maws, and uh uh fat bag.
Yeah, and I was another thing I was very fortunate about so far is that I have not suffered from high blood pressure. Um, when I left home at 18 to go to college, um, at that moment I stopped putting salt on my food. I never sprinkle, and that's not to brag or anything. I don't remember what the decision was that I made, or if it was just convenient, but I stopped using salt as an additive at the dinner table. If I ordered something and had salt in it, that's totally fine. Snacks and everything has salt in it. I never added salt. And I often wonder if that has been something that has helped me not to move into that zone where I have high blood pressure. I actually had my blood pressure checked this week and it was normal. So I'm very fortunate in that regard because it is something that runs in the family. So and pork is usually has a high salt content, either through preservatives or however it's prepared. So yeah, that salt content is another killer, just like the sugar, for sure.
Yeah.
RJ, you want
Yes.
to add to that? The high
I
blood pressure
think
thing?
well, moderation is the key. I think anything that you overdo is bad for you. Whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, whether it's eating pork, consuming sugar. I think that's the key. So I'm a
Sex,
huh what?
sex too.
Yeah,
Too much
yeah,
sex.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree. Well, yeah,
yeah, sex too.
yeah.
We may love it, but that, especially as men, we have to preserve our sexual energies a lot. See, because women are receivers, we're givers. So a lot of that energy we put into it is coming out of our bone and our marrow and the vitamins and minerals within our body when we let that nut off. So yes, sex is a part of that moderation too. I know we don't ever want to admit that, but yeah, I love sex just like every other man. But at the end of the day, that's something else we need to moderate as well.
Maybe we'll talk about that in another episode. I didn't think we would get into it, but you're absolutely right. I like where that went. Um, so, Izzy, you said that you're overweight. We're all overweight, and we've come
I'm still
to
fine, man. I'm
say.
still fine. I still hear that all the time. I'm still fine, man.
So
I'm a little overweight.
that's a good point. You can be overweight and fine. That
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great point. But one thing that we all decided to do is that we're going to push each other by way of competition. We're going to do a 3-month competition to see who can lose the most weight. And I think the best way to do it is probably by body weight percentage, whoever loses the biggest percentage of their body weight. And we're going to weigh ourselves this week, perhaps. And for those who are following along, we'd love it if you would join us and share your stories with us. So, Izzy, let me know. You've agreed to go along this journey with RJ and myself. What changes do you plan to make over these next 3 months?
Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick to what I've been doing, which is walking. And like I said, I normally do 4 or 5 miles, so I'm gonna stick to that and make it more consistent. Because see, now I'm just doing it when I feel like it, but I'm gonna try to have specific days and make myself go. Um,
So if I
I'm
can cut
gonna
in right
cut
now, you
out
said 4 or 5 miles. When's the last time you did that, and how often are you doing that now?
Sunday. I went Sunday. I did 5.5 miles. Um, I went to the school and walked around the entire school. I did 5.5 miles, and before then, I did that. I went. That was Sunday, and I went Thursday. I only did 2.5 that day, but earlier in that week, I did another 4. So I've been pretty consistent over the past couple months doing that, and it started with this healthy track um, program we got at my job, and so it was a walking competition. I always try to stay active anyway, but that actually got me to being more consistent, just competing with other people, which is good sometimes. I think uh, this country and people in it, we've lost the love for competition because people don't want to be judged, people don't want to be looked at in a certain way. But competition is good, and I'm still from that era where I love the competition, so I'm looking forward to this. But the changes I'm gonna make is that I will not be partaking of beer during the week, and
Whoa!
yeah,
All right.
because you get off from work, you have your beer too.
Oh yeah,
But
I know.
I'm gonna cut that out and just the weekend enjoy me a little taste on the weekend, and just try to maybe change up my eating habits, incorporate more vegetables and smaller portions of meat, and that's pretty much it. And continue to lift weights. I try to lift weights at least twice a week as well.
Gotcha. Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
RJ, what do you see yourself changing in these next few weeks and months?
It's funny. Izzy mentioned that his job had a walking contest. My job similarly had one. Maybe it might have been the same one.
I think it was. It probably was.
It might have been, but yeah. So we had a similar contest where we were competing against our our coworkers, and so
Mm-hmm.
that kind of got me to walk in almost every other day. So basically, I would continue on what I'm doing right now. What I need to do is start eating better, and that's probably involves cooking more. More meals made at home instead of eating out. Because eating out, you kind of you know, yeah, you're at their mercy as far as like the portions always too big sometimes, and it's not the right thing to be eating. So more vegetables. I need to get my diet together. That's kind of where I need to be, and I'll lose that 30 pounds that I'm trying to get rid of. So
So we're doing 3 months. Have you considered how much you think you'll be able to lose within that time, or how much you want to
yeah,
lose within that
the
time? How
goal
much?
the goal was 30 pounds. I think I can do that.
30
10
pounds in
pounds a
three
month.
months?
Yeah.
That's
That's what
aggressive.
I was
That's
thinking.
that's ambitious. Izzy, how much, Izzy?
That's what I was thinking, but I'm gonna be more conservative. I'm gonna say at least 7 pounds each month, so that'd be like 21 pounds.
21.
Okay.
I'm going to say 20 pounds is my goal for these 3 months. So yeah, and that will put me on a good mission. The changes I want to make. Let me just shame myself. I've been paying for a gym membership over these last few months, and I've gone only a few times because I have a million different excuses. But the one change that I'll start with is that I'm definitely going to be getting into the gym at least 3 times a week, hopefully 4 times a week. And I am going to swim at least twice a week. That is my major goal
That's
right there.
now that's ambitious. That's
That's very ambitious.
very
I
ambitious.
know that I can do it. I just need this push. I think you guys are going to be the push that's
Yeah.
going to get me there. The
Sounds
other,
like I'm gonna be winning again. I always win. I'm gonna win again.
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
So let's do this.
Yeah,
What?
We don't have our weights and pictures ready right now, but what we
right.
can do, we can update the audience every week when we do the video, and we'll have our weights and our first pictures
Absolutely.
the next time we do a video for them.
We will do that. And if any of you guys watching, like I said, want to join us, please let us know what's going on with you in the comments. And while we're talking about that, if you would, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe so that you can follow along and let us know about your journey in the comments. So that I've cut out white bread. I've cut out bread totally within the last few days. I haven't had any sweets, and I'm going to continue that. Um, I haven't had any alcohol since I hooked up with you guys this weekend. And so let's talk about that. We played some chess,
Yeah.
and we had a great time. I think we RJ and I visited Izzy and had a little chess meet. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Izzy, you want to tell us how that went? We'll let you start.
Um, who won that first one? Because it was you and RJ.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
lost the first game.
I
yeah,
won the first one. I won.
yeah,
That's who
Diedrich
won.
beat you. Then I beat Diedrich. Then I beat you.
No.
No,
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 no.
no.
Hold on.
No,
Because I
no, no,
won
no.
2 in a row.
Yeah, you won one in a row.
No, I won 2 in a row.
There it goes. There it goes.
No, you had me. You should have
How
won,
many did
but you lost.
How many did I win, Diedrich?
So I beat RJ. That was, and
One.
then you beat me, and
Quickly.
then I think RJ beat Izzy,
That's right. That's right.
and
And,
then
and the only reason I lost to RJ is because by that time we had got tipsy. And
Oh,
RJ,
oh man.
you know I had you whooped,
Oh
bro.
man.
You know I had you whooped, man.
Tipsy off a
I,
beer.
I
Tipsy
should
yo,
have
off a
lost
beer.
to you, huh?
Tipsy
hey,
off a beer.
beer does have
No.
alcohol.
Yeah,
No,
Here
but
because
it
no.
does have out.
we had some Crown and Cokes too, where we had brunch at. So,
Oh yeah. Oh
Ah,
yeah. Yeah. You're right
but
about that.
I
Yeah,
tell you this,
I forgot that.
I won't lose again.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
I
wait a
won't
minute.
lose.
So wait.
But I
So
enjoyed it though, man. I really enjoyed that. And I got another friend that plays chess as well. I told him I was next time we get up together, I was gonna let him know because he wanted to play.
wait. So who won the most games? We
Well,
didn't say that.
you did. You did
Oh, okay.
because
All right.
you played the weakest player twice though. So
he didn't
that's
play.
why
He
you
did
won,
not play
bro.
you twice. He didn't play you twice.
Nah, he
Right.
played you twice.
I beat him the first time.
Sure did.
So
Okay.
we're one
And,
and one.
and D Hill been going after school classes for chess and still ain't
And
doing nothing.
I ain't played in 8 years. I hadn't played in 8, 9 years, man. So
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it though,
You did
regardless who
well.
won that.
I
Yeah.
Absolutely.
want Bobby Jackson. That's who I want. Bobby Jackson. Bring Bobby Jackson out.
We gotta see if we can get him on the board with us for sure. All
Hey, and
right.
I'm gonna tell you, um, the diet thing that we're going on, the little competition, the two losers have to buy the winner dinner. How about that?
I like
You
that.
know, we're
Something
gonna
like
discuss that. That's too simple. We're gonna discuss a prize on the next episode. So
okay,
let's get create. Let's get a little bit more creative than that.
Okay.
that'll work. You know
All
I'm
right.
down.
All right. So yo, this has been a great episode, fellas. We got health on our minds, and hopefully the people listening and watching will join us and let us know their stories as well. RJ, any closing words?
Now I'm just looking forward to more of this track and field from the Olympics. That's about it. You
Okay.
know.
All the good stuff over.
Say what?
Izzy.
Not
All the
yet.
good stuff over.
Not yet. We still got the 200 men's for the men's
Okay, I
coming up.
thought Niles.
No, he won the 100.
That was the 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to see that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Izzy, any closing words from you?
Only closing words I got for everybody to remember: you're not old, you're inactive. So let's get back active and make a change.
Sounds great. That's excellent advice. This has been Of Two Mindsets. I want to thank everybody for joining. Thanks to RJ. Thanks to Izzy for sharing their stories. And let's motivate the people by showing them how well we can do with this challenge. Let's get it. Peace.
Yeah.